Hello, this is Satchel Williams, and this is the basics of lighting. In this short video, hopefully, I'll be able to show you the difference between the three types of basic lighting, which are going to be your key light, your fill light, and your backlight. So first off, let's go on with our primary lighting source, which is going to be our key light. The key light is the brightest of our three types of basic lighting effects. And it is the primary light that is going to be lighting up the subject within a scene. And so in this example, our key light is angled up and to the left-hand side of our subject when viewed from this orientation, from the camera's orientation, but of course from her point of view, it would be to the upright, okay? And so one of the big things about a key light is that the key light is going to cast a shadow at the bottom right hand corner, or basically the bottom opposite of wherever you have that key light angled. And so we fix that by adding in what we have is a fill light. So going on to our fill light, our fill light is basically going to fill in the shadow or the gaps where the key light is just not giving the full light needed for a subject's face. And so in this example, we have the fill light to the right hand side when viewing in this orientation of the subject. And in combination with the key light, this would provide ample lighting over the entire face of the subject. But in this case, it does cast a shadow on the opposite side of wherever the fill light is. And it is usually less bright than the key light, although this is pretty bright for a fill light. However, we could not tamper with the settings that much, try to diffuse it. However, diffusing just wasn't working as well as it should have. And then finally, the third type of light we have is a backlight. So the backlight is usually the least brightest of all the lights, and it is trying to separate the subject from the background of a scene, okay? Give some dimension. So we have the dimension on the face from the fill light and the key light, and now I want to separate our subject in the foreground from whatever is in the background. And it is positioned, of course, in the back of the subject. And again, we did try to diffuse this light a little bit more than it is. This is a little bright for a backlight, but again, it's supposed to give more dynamics between the foreground and the background. And so now we have some examples of a key light and a fill light working together. Unfortunately, I could not find another source where I could get a backlight that wouldn't be too distracting for the scene, so we just opted to do key light and fill light. And in this photo, you see how the face really doesn't have a shadow on it. It still has depth, like it's not being washed out or anything. However, it does have a natural lighting across the entire face. And so again, the key light is up in the left-hand corner of the subject, and then we have our fill light on the right, and the key light is being done with the ring light that we've been using for all the photos, and then our fill light is being used by a phone camera. And depending on where you actually angle that fill light, it can give you different results. In this photo, we do have the fill light angled slightly upwards, so we have more of a shadow on the bottom of her face, versus this one, we have the fill lights more neutral, in a neutral angle. So you see here, we have a little less shadow on that side of her face. And that is, of course, your three basic lighting, your key light, your fill light, and your backlight. Thank you.